On today's episode of i-Dentity, soccer sensation Munib Josephs is in the i-Dentity coffee shop. We indulge in some food for the soul at a Hare Krishna love feast. In our What's Happening segment, we review an app to help increase productivity and an educational website. And we wrap up the show with a track from Mahalia.
I am an individual with an imagination. My inner faith illuminates innovations. In a space with infinite inspiration, I was born free from all incarceration. Incredible, living infallibly, intelligent, outshine with my inner being. This is me, impeccable as ever been. I am you, you are me. This is my identity.
Good morning and welcome to i-Dentity right here on SABC 1 Mzansi for sure. I'm your host, Viwe Kwala. It's the first Sunday of December and we're that much closer to the end of 2016. As usual, the i-Dentity team is here to make sure that you fill your Sunday with some inspiration to get your week off to a great start. A few months ago, I had the pleasure of hosting a dynamic South African soccer sensation in the i-Dentity coffee shop. His interview resonated with many of our valued viewers, so much so that you asked to see him again. Well, here it is. Undwendwe lwethu lwanamhlanje nguMunib Josephs okhulele kwindawo yophumasilo yase-Cape Flats. uMunib wenza owona mahluko ngokuthi asebenze nzima ukuba ngoyena nozinti ophumelelayo emagqabini. Now if that's not inspirational, I don't know what is. Munib, welcome to i-Dentity.
Thank you for having me. It's such an honor to be here.
Munib, for starters, what was your childhood like in Cape Town?
Childhood for me was unbelievable, because coming from the Cape Flats, you know that it's been hectic on the one side, but it also sculpts you to be the person that I am today. Growing up with only a mother was a bit hard, especially being a young boy, needing his father in his life. But fortunately for me, I had a mother and a grandmother that had the strong characteristics that know the world to survive, and that's where I got most of my characteristics from. That's from my mother that had the character of never give up, So I'll say it's been a blessing for me growing up, the situation that I have grown up in.
Wow, so how did your soccer career start? I mean, was that what motivated you?
Well, it started in the streets of Cape Town, As a young boy, you're playing in the streets, that's all you do all day. Once you get from school, you play in the streets, and at 5 o'clock your mom calls you in to go and wash, So there's always been a little bit of discipline as well. Yeah. But that has shaped me to be the person that I am, because playing in the streets, you always dream about playing in big competitions, going and watching TV, and then thinking to yourself, this is something that I want to be a part of, and then going out onto the field and imitating those players in the streets, until your mother gives you the sign to say, Munib, that's it, time to wash. Then that dream just fades away, because then they got you in the bath and they wash you from there onwards, But my mother has been a key role for me in my career from childhood all the way through, and even up till today, she plays a massive role in my life.
You speak so fondly of your mother and grandmother. Are they the people that instilled the values in you that you attribute to your success to today?
Definitely. They've always been instrumental in my career, in my life. The mothers are always, they have that extra touch and that love for you when things are not going well. And there's a lot of times in my life when things weren't going well for me, and I could turn back to them and they were there for me, But unfortunately for them, being a teenage boy, it was a bit difficult because they never understood what I was going through. They were women in that sense, And that's when I turned to friends and the wrong characters on the street, which I listened to advice from. And
it's interesting that you speak about, hanging out with the wrong crowd and disappointing your family, because we know that soccer players have an infamous wild streak about them. But you've managed to stay so grounded. How do you do that?
The first thing that a Muslim mother instills in you is that you have to know that there's Allah, there's a God, And at being a young teenager, it's hard for you to understand that. It's hard for you to understand it because you're still finding your way through the world, but they kept implementing that, and imprinting it in your brain that you have to remember there's a God and everything comes from that God. And only later in my life, I started to realize that, that everything comes from my God, everything comes from Him, and that has been keeping me grounded all my life, all my career now. Knowing that I've been blessed with a talent and that comes from God, from the Almighty. And I'm grateful for my mother imprinting that in my brain all the time. And my grandmother, I have to emphasize my grandmother, because the Gogos.
Yeah, the Gogos are the best.
Yeah, this world is nothing without them. And I'm great. Like I said, I'm grateful today for them imprinting that, because I'm a practicing Muslim, and for me, there hasn't been anything else that kept me grounded but my faith and what my mother and my grandmother has imprinted in my life.
A lot of people think that we as young people have lost faith.
Yeah.
Is there still a role for faith in young people in today's age?
Definitely. Like I said, everything comes from God. We have to realize that everything comes from God. We are here because of God. And without God, we are nothing. Look at most of us look at most of the youth there's so much happening. There's drugs, there's everything. It's because we stray away from religion, we stray away from God. There's so much teaching that if you believe like me, I do 5 prayers a day. That keeps me on a straight path all the time. And that's just a basic need that us humans have, is to have that connection with God. As youth, we are, what's happening, there's so much media and things out there today.
Yes.
And that is influencing our kids. But and it's a whole lot of negativity as well. But if as parents, as Gogos, we just keep imprinting, let them know that, even though things are not going well for them, they have to know that God is always there for you. That is the key. There's no other key but God. We are going into this month of Ramadan as a Muslim. As you say, it's youth month. We as Muslims, we're going into this month as well. And this is another month where we spiritually connect with our God, where for us, we cleanse our souls. We go into a new period, and it's just so humbling, and it's great that it gives you that new spirituality that just helps you continue on for the rest of the year.
And speaking about young people, I mean, you mentioned actually something that I wanted to touch up on. The environment. A lot of young people would say, I'm struggling with drug abuse or substance abuse because of where I come from, and that's my person, that's my identity. What would you say to a young person thinking that they are their bad environment?
What happens in our communities is we are stuck in this box. So we think this is all that exists for us. But for me, going into the professional game, I started seeing things. I started realizing, there's something out there that is different from my situation, my environment. So I can make that difference to change my situation. And our youth of today must know that there's always an opportunity to change that environment that they are in, But the only thing for them to do is, the key for me was to go and make that happen. Things are not going to happen for us today. We need to go and make that happen, and that is the step we need to take as youth. We need to go and make things happen.
How do you give back to the community? Because being the type of person that you are, you being so connected to your higher being, and being such a humble person, I think that you'd want to plow back to the community. You seem like that guy,
Of course. That's the key. We come from that places where we know what it is to struggle, right? So going back to your community, those kids want to see. I have friends in communities. I have 6-year-old friends. I have 5-year-old friends.
I can imagine you had 6-year-old friends.
I swear. I have 6 and 5-year-old friends. And when I go back to my community, I'm with them. I play with them in the streets, and hopefully I'm hoping that will make them realize that, when he was playing with us in the street, this is what he did, so we can do it as well.
We have a quick word game. You please answer as quickly as possible.
I told you about thinking.
It's nothing to think about.
Okay.
It's just something that you should know.
No problem.
But it's fine.
No problem.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So your first question is, what is on your bucket list?
To go to
just
Mecca.
One thing.
Yeah. To go to Mecca.
Okay. And what is your favorite spot in your house?
The lounge.
The man cave.
Yeah.
Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo?
Both. I have to say both. They each have different qualities that I like.
Okay. What's the funniest pickup line you've ever used?
Babe, should I make you coffee?
Is that a pickup line?
It's to my wife.
And the last question, what's your motto in life?
Go and make things happen.
I love that. Thank you so much, Muni, for joining us on i-Dentity.
Thank you so much for
having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Noba ungumlandeli webhola okanye hayi, ndinesiqinisekiso ukuba uye wakhuthazwa libali likaMonique kwakhona. Sicela ukuba nicinga ntoni ngokusazisa kuFacebook, kuTwitter okanye kuInstagram. Funa nje wena i-Identity TV Show. Ningasithumela i-email ku identitytvshow@gmail.com. After the break, we head to Lenasia in Johannesburg to partake in a spiritual celebration with members of Hare Krishna. And later in the show, we check out what's trending on the media front with our app and website review. See you in a moment.
This is my identity. This is my identity.
Welcome back to I-Dentity with me, Viwe Kwala, right here on SABC1 Mzansi for sure. Thank you for staying tuned. In the 1960s, founder of the Hare Krishna faith, Srila Prabhupada, added a unique element to his preaching program. He brought people together to share in food for the spirit and the stomach, and he called it the Love Feast. Years later, his followers still carry out this beautiful tradition. Our team was curious to learn more about this spiritually rich event, so they joined Hare Krishna devotees at a temple in Lenasia south of Johannesburg. Take a look at what they captured.
This is my identity.
ISKCON is the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And the founder, Acharya, the founder of ISKCON is His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So the main objective of the movement and the Sunday Love Feast program is to teach people about their true identity, that being the eternal spirit soul. And because we're the eternal spirit soul, we have an eternal relationship with God. And by knowing our relationship with Him, we develop love for Him and we develop love for one another.
Historically, the kind of Vaishnavism or Hare Krishna is a very ancient kind of religion. So it's been in India for many thousands of years. But it was brought to the West in the 60s by Swami Prabhupada. And that is when it took its current kind of form as the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and that's when he kind of presented it in a way which is suitable for a Western audience.
The Sunday Love Feast is it's an amazing program that Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual master, actually started, and he titled it the Sunday Love Feast, and everything around it is centered around love. So we give this platform of the Sunday Love Feast to have multiple platforms of offerings of love to each other, to the Supreme Lord. So all the activities that take place, which is the bhajans, singing of the hymns, an offering through song. There's dancing, it's an offering through dance. We eating, we exchanging love through eating. So all these points are actually building and escalating the whole exchange of love. So the best thing about a Sunday Love Feast is all the exchanges of love that takes place.
The class that we give is around practical subjects, how to come over everyday difficulties in life, how we overcome them by referring to the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is actually a book. It's a conversation between Krishna and his dear devotee Arjuna, which was done on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. There were two warring factions, and that's where Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita. So it's actually practical, problems that we have on a day-to-day.
The Vedas are our, spiritual scriptures, really. So everything that we do in Krishna consciousness is based on the Vedas. So they're very important. They are the foundation of our Krishna conscious movement. They are the essence.
When he was speaking to them, we've got a marking on our forehead. This is to mark that, to fully stamp that this is a body, this is a temple of God, and we shall only use it in the service of the Lord.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
What is different in the Hare Krishna Sunday Love Feast program is that we encourage a lot of sadhu sangha, which is association with one another.
Fellowship is very important. In the Krishna conscious movement, when we all come to temple here, we're all here for a similar purpose. We have similar interests, that is serving Krishna and eventually going back to Godhead.
What you eat affects who you are. So there are different foods prepared in different consciousnesses. So if I am preparing a meal and I'm very angry that day, or I'm very passionate, that consciousness actually gets transferred to the food. And if I consume that food, I actually get affected mentally by that. We also aim to have a karma-free diet, because whatever action we do, there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? We tend to avoid, further karma by killing animals. We're above vegetarianism. We offer our food to God, and by offering that food to God, it becomes spiritual. So it becomes free from karma.
Krishna consciousness is simply attaining happiness. That happiness, everybody is always seeking for happiness, but we find that the happiness is never really going to the fullest extent that we want. Always trying to achieve the highest high that we can get. So now Krishna consciousness simply gives us that happiness which goes within, because it's happiness for the soul. It goes straight inside.
In my youth, I've always wanted to find a connection with God. Finding God is a way to find my purpose, and right now that I'm in Krishna consciousness, I've found that my purpose is to serve God, and as a young person, having all these religious principles, it sort of guides you throughout life and it prevents you from doing all kinds of wrong things. So for me, finding God is also a way of finding happiness. I don't want to find artificial happiness in all kinds of other negative things. I want pure happiness, and pure happiness right now is God.
We all believe generally in God, no matter what name we call God. Some people call him Christ, some people call him Krishna, some people call him Jehovah, some people call him Allah, but it's one God. But we have many belief systems. If we just glorify God, by referring to the bona fide scriptures of God, it's good enough. One great person, Mahatma Gandhi, said that all religions are like rivers flowing into a common ocean. So we may have different beliefs, but there's one common God.
This is my identity.
Enkosi kwi-Hare Krishna yaseLenasia ngokuzivumela kwindawo yabo sikwazi nokuba sibe khona kumcimbi wabo. Ningalibali ukumane nisixelela ngamabali eniwathandileyo agqithileyo. Sixelele ngondwendwe okanye amabali eningathandi kwabona kwakhona ngokuthumela i-email ku-identitytvshow@gmail.com. It's time for one more break. When we come back, we head straight into today's media review segment, which features an app to help you keep fit even if you work behind a desk. We'll also be reviewing a fun English education website. We'll be right back.
This is my identity. This is my identity.
Welcome back to i-Dentity, the multi-faith youth show that aims to put a spring in your spiritual step right here on SABC 1 Mzansi for sure. I'm Hare Krishna. Siqale inkqubo yethu ngencoko ebendinayo egqithileyo nomdlali webhola uMunib Josephs. Salibhekisa kwi-Hare Krishna Sunday Love Feast. Lixesha ngoku lokubona esiniphathele kona namhlanje kwisiqendu sethu se-media review. Ixesha le-What's Happening. Many people with office jobs spend their day hunched over a computer for up to 9 hours at a time, with an hour break in between if at all. Today's app will help you not only add some exercise to your workday, but also help you improve your concentration levels and boost your productivity. It's called Health at Work.
Health at Work is an app designed to help you add simple but effective exercise routines and tasks to your workday. Create a workday fitness routine by selecting the Work Schedule tab. You can then select your working hours as well as your working days. Select the Exercises tab to customize your workouts. Each exercise has a demonstrative video and lists a brief description of the workout, as well as the number of repetitions you need to complete per interval. You can then choose a duration of the workout, how often you'd like to repeat the exercise throughout the day, and on which days of the week you'd like to work out. The app also offers the option to set routine reminders for drinking water, taking an eye break, and taking your multivitamins. Simply select the Routine tab to activate and customize your reminders. If you'd like to add your own activities, select the Custom tab, click the Add button and name your task. All unfinished routines are added to the pending tab and are marked with a green tick once completed. Work your way towards achieving a balanced lifestyle with the help of the Health at Work app.
It's amazing how time flies when you're concentrating on a task. This app will certainly come in handy even during those long exam prep study sessions for students. Now onto our next review. It's an English learning website that will keep the young ones entertained during the December holidays while improving their English language skills. It's www.funenglishlearning.com.
FunEnglishGames.com is a website that provides free English learning resources for children. Select the Games tab for interactive activities that cover topics such as reading, writing, punctuation, and grammar. All you have to do is choose a section, select a game option, and get playing. For classroom activity resources, select the Activities tab. If you're a teacher and are looking for printable worksheets to help make classroom learning fun, select the Worksheets tab. The Quizzes tab gives you access to question and answer activities such as the verb quiz, the synonym quiz, missing words or finish the sentence, and the Videos tab provides instructional clips to help improve English grammar and vocabulary. Discover some interesting English language quirks, laugh at some humorous jokes, and learn some fascinating idioms by selecting the Fun Stuff tab. For topic-specific lessons such as words and vocabulary, spelling, animals, or the human body, select the Topics tab. Visit www.funenglishgames.com and help your children improve their language skills.
We've come to the end of today's episode of i-Dentity. Let's hook up again next week at 11 a.m. on SABC1 Mzansi for sure. In the meantime, get in touch with us and let us know which interview or regional story you'd like us to feature in one of our throwback episodes. Simply send an email to identitytvshow@gmail.com. You can also find us on the social networking scene. Search for i-Dentity TV Show on Facebook, Twitter or Instagram and connect with us. Umahalia usivalela inkqubo yethu ngengoma emyoli ebizwa All For You. Kum uviwe Gqwala neqela le i-Dentity nibe neveki esikelekileyo. Mina Myoli.